So I had a PS3 since about 2011, 2012. It's been overseas. It's been a rock star. I did have to get a different controller because the other one I threw against the wall a few times. Thank you, Dark Souls. Um, but anyway, if you still have a PS3 like I do, granted, basically it's a DVD player at this point. I have two TVs. I have one that just plays DVDs and whatnot. South Park: The Stick of Truth, one of the funniest games possibly of like all time. It's just goddamn hilarious. Um, it's also a good RPG. It's not very hard. You only go up to like 20 levels, and then like you're just capped. But just get the katana, and you're good. You could beat everything in the game with that stupid katana. That you get from Jimbo's shop. Bioshock. This is Bioshock Infinite. I prefer Bioshock 1, which this has digitally on it. Um, this is the game that actually made me love first person shooters. I wasn't great at first person shooters. I'm still not that great at them. But Bioshock had a good story and good mechanics around it. And also, Bioshock 2 is pretty damn good too. I think it's on par with the sequel, Bioshock Infinite. It's a little weird because you're up in the sky. And you know, some of the story I'm like fine with, but like the dimension hopping I thought was badass. Um, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Like that's not a long enough name. This is a great game. If you like Fable, more like Fable 2, that kind of feel. That's how the combat is. The look looks like a beautiful, cool fantasy world. It was created by R.A. Salvatore, great writer, and Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn. They came up with all the backstory and everything else for this, and it's a great game. It feels a little empty, to be honest, but that's because it was originally intended to be a MMO, which crapped out. This has a sad history. This is the PS3 version. I originally had it on the Xbox, but I had to sell it. But they do have a version for it for PS4 if you have that, which has all the DLC, and apparently they're supposed to have another DLC coming out for it. They better for the price I paid for it. Um, it's Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, the one where it was almost so good that they kicked Kojima out. Um, it's a great game. I like the sandbox feel of a lot of the missions. Yeah, I stared at the half naked chick a lot. Her backstory makes sense. Also, she's a good sniper. I like to use her a lot sniping out camps and while I'm sniping out other people. So when I shoot, she shoots, all that whatnot. Um, it's very confusing storyline wise, but every Kojima is. Fun game though. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. There is a sequel I have not played, but this one's really good. It's kind of it plays a lot like Pokemon, or really more like Digimon World from back in the PlayStation days, where you have some agency over it. You tell them, "Hey, attack," and then they bounce around, and they attack. You can control all three characters plus their monsters, and you level up the monsters, and then they progress and they evolve and all that kind of stuff. It's a very fun game. I mean, the kid loses his mom and then ends up finding out he's a wizard and transports different, like between two dimensions, helping people. Um, One of them is a giant fat cat who's a king. It's a really cool game. If you like Blue Dragon and those kind of like looks of games, it's made by Studio Ghibli, so like the animations are incredible. Um, oh, you can see that with my terrible camera. Um, yes, Studio Ghibli, anything by them. Also, Level 5. They were the ones who made the game. Looked them up. They done a ton of great games, and this one I think has the most replay value of all of them. Diablo 3 is fantastic. This is the Reaper of Souls, which has all the extra DLC stuff that they came out for the console editions. There's a newer version of it for the Switch and all that, which is basically this, but just slightly prettier. Um, it's top down attack, hack and slash. You can pick between a bunch of different classes, and they all have their individual moves. Um, the best one I think to play is like the Paladin, because she has all these holy powers, and you're fighting a bunch of undead, so it makes it a lot easier. Or the Witch Doctor. I like playing as her because you can like summon a bunch of creatures with you, and then like they go and attack everybody, and you're just standing back throwing spells behind the shield of stuff. Also, it gets really hard the more you go up into like the torment levels. Anyway, if you still have a PS3 like I do, and sometimes I do buy other games for them because let's face it, it still works when the power doesn't go out. Um, Bad power here. Anyway, that's not the point. Diablo, possibly like the best replay value. Ni no Kuni. If you like JRPGs, check this one out. Also, Tales of Xillia, which is pretty good. Phantom Pain. Anything by Kojima. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Still a mouthful to say. Pretty good though. I like the combat. They're like, I get bored with some of the other games. I just go and play that because like I like to throw the chakras around and attack stuff with a longsword. Bioshock Infinite. If you've never really gotten into first-person shooters, Bioshock, the first one at least, I think you should try out because it has the best lead into it. And Bioshock Infinite, I think it's good. It's good. And possibly the funniest damn one of all. I mean, sure, you got the fractured butthole on the PS4, which is good. It's good, but it's a completely different combat system. It's more tactics based. This is basically your turn based RPG kind of stuff. The Jew is pretty good to play as. Anyway, I'm Jake. This is my collection, and stay safe. Wear a mask. Don't be a monster. Have a great day. Later.